Once upon a time in the not-so-distant future of 2025, I found myself entranced by the promise of enlightenment and growth at the esteemed, or so I thought, Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport. With a heart full of dreams and a head brimming with aspirations, I embarked on a journey that I believed would shape my destiny. Oh, how terribly wrong I was. It began with a simple click, a mere push of a button that would ensnare me in a web of deceit and disillusionment. You see, dear listener, at this institution, the sanctity of a commitment is as fragile as a fallen leaf in the midst of a storm. They lured me in with the guise of a straightforward online registration, where the click of a button bound me to them as if by some dark magic. No sacred signature, no solemn vow, just a casual click, and poof, my finances were bewitched, my autonomy spellbound. Imagine, if you will, a place where your very identity could be hijacked by a malicious phantom. All they need is your email and IBAN, and voila, they can conjure a specter of debt in your name. It's as if the gates of this academic purgatory are wide open, inviting any nefarious trickster to play a cruel joke on unsuspecting souls like myself. And when October came, like a ghost haunting its favorite grave, I was informed of my unwilling enrollment. A staggering sum of €12.89 was demanded from me, a sum as heavy as the chains of obligation they draped around my neck without my consent. The tale grows darker, for when I sought solace in dialogue, I was met with the duplicity of Janus himself. The staff, as fleeting as a mirage, offered sweet nothings of reassurance, only to vanish when the truth came knocking. The Stellvertretende Leitung der Studerendenkanzlei, a title as grandiose as it is hollow, accused me of being a student in their hallowed halls, when in truth I was but a prisoner in Plato's cave, tricked by shadows dancing on the wall. Oh, the irony that when I, in my youthful naivety, reached out to the lofty figure of the Universitätspräsident, he was swiftly erased from the conversation, as if he were nothing but a forgotten line in a poorly written play. They reduced my debt, yes, but their kindness was as false as a painted rose's fragrance. Without a shred of remorse, they sought to extract nearly €300 from my modest student's coffer, a sum that could have been spent on books, on knowledge, on the nourishment of a young mind. But let us not forget the tales of those who walked these cursed halls before me. A comrade in arms, who shall remain nameless, spoke of the ghastly price of €450 each month, a fee that bought not wisdom but a parody of education. The lessons were as scattered as leaves in the wind, and the only true practical application was learning the art of patience as one waited for a response that often never came. The employees, shrouded in a cloak of indifference, treated each inquiry with the enthusiasm of a cat faced with a bath. And when it came to parting ways with this institute, their coldness turned to outright hostility. It was as if the act of leaving was a betrayal of the highest order, punishable by the silent treatment and a lingering sense of regret. The examinations, oh, the examinations. They were as simple as the moral compass of a pirate, requiring little more than a pulse to pass. It is a grim thought that such ease might one day place the lives of others in the hands of those who emerged from this place, bearing the title of graduate like a cheap costume at a masquerade ball. And what of the honorable educators, whose noble profession was treated with less respect than a jester at a king's court? They were paid in mere pebbles when they deserved boulders, their preparation time valued as much as a page in an unread book. How can one expect the blossoming of minds when the gardeners are given neither tools nor time to tend to their charges? As for they.
I am looking into crimes near Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport. You know, like just a normal day. And I found some pretty bad stuff, sadly. Businesses near Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport are like, they will take advantage of you, especially if you ray a tourist, you know. Like they think you ray just going to be there for a short time and then leave, so they try to scam you. Like this one time, there was a big scam operation going on in Tempelhof, which is right near Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport. They had this whole setup, like a fake phone farm, where they would send out thousands of fake messages to people's phones, saying things like, "Hello, Mama, I have a new number, or your package is waiting. Click on this link," and people would fall for it, you know. They would give out their personal information, and then these scammers would steal their money. It's so sad, because it's like these people are just trying to make a living, and then they get taken advantage of. I predict that the people who got scammed were probably really upset, you know. They might have even been crying, because who wouldn't he, right? It's like your money is just gone, and you don't know what to do. And the scammers, they just get away with it, probably laughing all the way to the bank, you know. It's just so unfair. And then there are these fake tradesmen who would go around to people's apartments, saying that there's a problem with the plumbing or something, and they need to fix it right away. But really, they were just trying to get into your apartment and steal your stuff, you know. It's like, how could you, right? These are people's homes, and you were just going to go in there and take their things. It's so wrong. I predict that the people who got targeted by these fake tradesmen were probably really scared, you know. They might have even felt violated, because someone was in their home, going through their things. And the scammers, they probably just thought it was a big joke, you know. Like, they got away with it, and they were just going to keep doing it until they get caught. It's just so sad, you know. Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport is supposed to be a place of learning. And yet, right near there, these scammers are just taking advantage of people. It's like, can't we all just be good to each other, you know? Can't we just try to make the world a better place?
The businesses around Deutsche Hochschule für Gesundheit und Sport feel like a practical joke that forgot to end. They all promise you the city sparkle, then hand you a half-empty packet of broken biscuits and charge for the crumbs. I walked in expecting normal. I walked out feeling like I had just paid tuition for a masterclass in disappointment. Take the shopping center that calls itself Das Schloss. From the outside, it is a palace. Inside, it is a palace that has lost its king, its queen, and apparently its vacuum cleaner. The toilets look as if they have not seen water since the last World Cup. A security guard there decided one shopper was a criminal because the man walked too fast toward the exit. He grabbed him, pinned him against a wall, lied to the police, and 3 weeks later management still had not answered the email. If that is how they treat someone leaving, imagine the welcome when you arrive. Up at the front doors, smokers stand shoulder to shoulder with wheelchair ramps, so if you push a pram, you get a free cloud of second-hand luck. One grandmother wrote that her gift card expired, and the castle keepers simply shrugged and kept the money. Because rules are rules and kindness is apparently not in the lease. Float down the street for relaxation, and you will bump into tranks, the floating bath that feels more like a clogged bathtub. They give you earplugs, but the water still hides inside your ears for days, like it is camping. Tall people bump against the walls every 30 seconds, which turns meditation into bumper cars. Parking costs €1 per 20 minutes, so by the time you finally relax, you are already worrying about the ticket on your windshield. The staff smile, hand you free tea, and then forget you existed is the kindness that hurts the most, because you know they tried and still the water stays in your head. Evening comes, so you look for food. Katterschmaus hangs fairy lights over the river and advertises vegan choices. Yet the moment you ask for a vegan dessert, the waiter snaps. This is a steakhouse, as if plants are illegal. One birthday group was told, "This is not a museum," when they only wanted to peek at the room before booking. Another table watched their side dishes arrive after the mains were already digested. The apology was 17 euros split between 4 people, roughly the price of one unhappy potato. A man waited 1 hour before the staff admitted they had simply forgotten to send his order to the kitchen. They compensated by letting him watch everyone else eat. The river keeps flowing, the candles keep flickering, and the manager keeps not appearing, like a ghost who is too busy haunting another castle. Coffee should be safe, but Moxa Caf turns caffeine into anxiety. The menu lists filter coffee, yet every time you ask, the barista sighs, "Too busy," while 4 empty tables collect dust. One guest stood up after 30 minutes of being invisible, walked to the counter, ordered, waited another 10, and the waitress finally said, "All's klar," which roughly translates to "thank you for the donation." A group of 7 received 5 sandwiches in 45 minutes, paid for 7 drinks, and discovered at the train station that only 4 meals were in the bag. The 5th sandwich had vanished into the same dimension, where the service smiles go. The brownie arrives brick-hard. The explanation is, "It was in the fridge, you must wait 15 minutes. As if dessert is a timed exam. 3 visits, 3 disasters. The consistency is almost comforting, like a horror movie you can recite by heart. Nightlife. En Vogue nightclub sells you a 90s theme, then plays chart pop while the DJ begs 5 euros for every song request, like a jukebox with a beard. The dress code supposedly exists, but jogging pants and hiking sandals stroll past the bouncer, while your shoulder bag is declared too masculine for entry. One woman was refused re-entry because she looked in the garden.